Right, here we are with Riccardo Rizzi.
Correct.
Italiano, buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Excellent. Good to see you here in Dubai.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for the invitation.
Honestly, more than welcome. So, Rico Time is the name that you go by on social media.
You know what time is it?
It's Rico Time. So just tell me a little bit about how you came up with this name. Obviously, it's very catchy, but how you came up with this name and a little bit about your journey as a boxer and a fighter. And obviously, you're based in Dubai now, I know, but we briefly spoke off screen before about your journey from Italy and where you were first before you came to Dubai. So give us a little bit of a background on you, Riccardo, so we have an understanding of how you started boxing.
Sure. So starting with my ring name, it's Rico Time. I'm very proud of it. And a coach of mine, a coach that I had when I was living in Las Vegas, give to me, actually in Las Vegas, because Riccardo is a little bit long name. Everybody start calling me Rico, just because it's easier and more simple to remember. Actually, nobody before was calling me Rico. At the beginning, I was a little bit like, Rico, who's Rico? And, everybody called me just like that. And Rico Time happened, like this ring name started before a fight that I had in Mexico, in Tijuana, an amateur fight. And before the fight, I was nervous. This coach that I had at the time, Armin van Damme, that also he was the owner of a boxing club where I was training, he saw that I was kind of nervous before, like stepping in the ring in Tijuana. I mean, like it's not a joke. So he was doing the hand rub to me and he asked me, Rico, what time is it? I watch on my watch the time and I said, Armin, like it's 4:30. Why? And he said, fuck it, it's Rico Time. And I won that fight in Mexico. And after that day, I just changed straight away my Instagram name into It's Rico Time, and here we are.
So it stuck with you?
Yes,
and that was one of your amateur bouts in Mexico, was it?
Correct, yes. It was an amateur bout. As an amateur boxer, I do have 60 amateur fights.
I was just seeing that. So you've had over 60 amateur bouts.
Correct.
And you're only 25 years old.
26 now.
You're 26 years old
now. Yes, correct.
So that's a hell of a lot of fights that you've had for a 26-year-old.
I mean, I think that I started early enough. At 14 years old, I start with the first amateur fights. And then I think that as an amateur, you just need to get as much experience as you can, not only with fights, but also with sparring. Like a big name in boxing right now, David Benavidez, he have only 15 amateur fights, but he was sparring with the biggest name since he was a teenager. So I think the main goal as an amateur, as a youth, you just need to do a lot of rounds and live a lot of different situations. So when you're going to be professional, and when you are a professional, you cannot lose, you cannot make no mistakes. You have to be ready for every single situation. So a big privilege to me. In my life, I changed a lot of cities, a lot of coaches. So I try a lot of different situations inside and outside the ring. So, I mean, I have a lot I need to learn a lot, but I done a lot of experience yet. So this gives to me a lot of confidence.
So boxing from 14 years old is when you started?
I started, let's say at 12. I had the first interest for boxing. I started to play with my friends. You know, I was calling my best friend at the time in Italy, hey, Simone, let's meet at the park under my house. Like we was bringing like a small gloves and try to beat each other up. From there, I started in a proper boxing club at 13. Of course, my mom was very happy. And nothing. Slowly get into it.
Did you have any Italian boxers or sports stars, celebrities, athletes that you looked up to?
I'm from Trieste, that actually is the city of Nino Benvenuti, that he's one of the biggest Italian name in boxing of past years. But talking about now, there is some guys that are doing well. Maybe an athlete that I take inspiration to is Daniele Scardina, that now he retired, but he was a great Italian boxer, especially for what he done outside the ring, because he had the ability to bring again the lights on the boxing sport. But of course, as everybody know in Italy, the lights is just on football.
True, absolutely, yeah. I mean, football is huge in Italy.
It's huge, it is.
It's absolutely massive.
But also boxing can become bigger and bigger.
It's growing. This is what I want to talk to you about, your journey. So you're starting from 12, 13 in the gym in Italy. 14, you begin to take it quite seriously. Did you want to join the Olympic or go for the amateur team in regards to Italy to join the Olympics? Was that something that was on your mind?
To be honest, never been a dream to me the Olympics, because when I fall in love with boxing was with the professional part of boxing. I was watching, like in let's say 2013, Canelo against Mayweather,
yeah.
And I started, one of the first boxers that I started to watch was Canelo, and I was reading on Wikipedia that he turned professional after 2 years in the amateur. And I think he turned professional at 15.
15 years old.
So I started boxing, and I told to my coach at the time, because, I want to do 2 years now as an amateur, and then at 15, I want to turn professional. But of course, it was like just a dream, and it's even impossible to turn professional at 15 years old in Italy. But I always had the idea to turn professional. And also I always had the idea to travel the world to learn more about this beautiful sport.
And obviously 15 was your idea of when you wanted to become a pro.
Correct.
What age did you actually become a pro? And obviously I know you moved to America as well.
So I turned professional at 22 years old. But at 19, right after finish school, I worked for 6 months, collect some money, and moved to America, to Las Vegas. That was a beautiful learning experience for me. I stepped in the ring with some big names, some good fighters, and this bring to me experience and also confidence. Confidence that I can step in the ring and share the ring with top level guys. And from there, as you probably know, United States is not so easy to get a visa, especially long one. So I had to go back to Italy, and was really, after 1 year in Las Vegas, was not what I was looking for. So I started to raise some money to move somewhere else. I tried to live in Germany, but it's also kind of good for boxing, and also in Spain, but it was not my thing. I was not big enough, and I said I have to do something different. I was thinking maybe I can go to UK, but also now with a Brexit, it's also not that easy with a visa and stuff. And I said, you know what, Dubai, I think that can be very, very big, especially in the future. Now maybe it's not the best city for boxing, but is growing year after year. And outside boxing, here you can do huge things, you can make your own brand, as I'm doing. You can create a career after the boxing one.
So when you were 19 in Las Vegas, did you have many amateur bouts when you were out there?
Actually, not many, but I done a lot of sparring session. I was, this is a funny story, I was for a long time sparring partner with Nico Ali Walsh, but now he's in Dubai.
Yes.
Actually, it's even more funny. I text him before his fight. I text him, bro, I'm here in Dubai. I think that make a lot of sense if you fight with me, because it's a good story. So I would love to share the ring with him.
Well, absolutely. I just saw Nico Ali Walsh at the IBA tournament last week. Obviously, he won his fight against Sarada.
Exactly. Another good friend of mine.
Another good friend of yours?
Yeah,
Excellent.
he trained with me. So I was I know both of them. Of course, now I'm training with Jeremiah. So he's a good friend of mine. It was a good fight, very competitive. I think they both done a very good show for all the people that was watching. So congratulations to them. And I would love to have a possibility to step in the ring with Nico.
Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully that can be something for you next.
Yes.
Terence Crawford was in Nico Ali Walsh's corner last week. He's
crazy.
just announced his retirement yesterday. What are your thoughts on Terence Crawford, who was undisputed at super middleweight and who is now just retired after fighting Canelo, obviously in September?
I think that can be a very good move for him to retire at his very peak, but at the same time, as you know, boxing is a business, so you never know if this is a real retire or if he just retired to come back and make even more money. So we don't know.
I know that Canelo did put off Cinco de Mayo in May, and him and his trainer Eddie Reynoso wanted to come back in September to have a rematch with Terence Crawford. But obviously now he's hung up his gloves and he has officially in Ring Magazine stated that he has retired.
But I saw the post, but again, I think that everything is possible. We had already in the history of boxing so many similar situations with first Floyd Mayweather, or better to say, Pretty Boy before his first retirement, when he come back as a Money Mayweather, and also another big name that he retired already 3 times, I guess, Tyson Fury. So,
and I understand he's looking to come back next year.
Exactly.
Well, 2026 is only a month away, so he's looking to come back next year and possibly face Anthony Joshua.
I think that can be a very good move, especially after the next fight that Anthony Joshua have this weekend against Jake Paul.
Again, this is an interesting one for me because Jake Paul is not, in my eyes, an actual boxer. I understand that he brings entertainment value. I understand that the fight is on Netflix and it's going to be watched by millions of people around the world. Anthony Joshua, he's a serious heavyweight, isn't he?
He is absolutely one of the best still. And I really like Jake Paul, if I have to be honest. I think he's doing more good than bad for boxing. Actually, he's teaching the boxers how you should promote a fight. Because
like marketing genius, right?
He is. He and his brother. Like they are really leading, if not the world, America. So they really know what they are doing. They are not stupid. They are very, very, very smart, under a lot of perspective. And again, he bring somehow boxing alive again.
I think you are right on that. Talking about boxing being alive, in front of us we've got a belt, Rico. So tell us about this belt. When did you win this belt? What title is it, please?
This is a UBO championship belt. Of course, UBO is not the biggest federation. I fought for this belt last year in Bangkok, scheduled for 10 rounds of action. I closed the show in the second round. This fight was in the super welterweight division.
In the second round?
Correct.
Wow, okay.
Now I'm a welterweight. And actually the big plan for myself and my team is the next year to bring on this table, hopefully on a second chapter interview, the WBC of the Middle East.
Excellent. I know Maurizio Suleiman is in Dubai right now from the WBC.
Correct.
So is there an opportunity for you to maybe meet with the WBC?
100%. I already meet with Mr. Suleiman this year in Riyadh because I get the invitation for the sparring club. So I done my sparring session, and the day after I met with Maurizio Suleiman, and I told him, Mr. Maurizio, would be an honor for me to bring on my waist belt.
Yeah,
WBC belt.
I think an incredible opportunity for you that could hopefully arise. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
Absolutely. Now, 147 pounds you've come down to. You were fighting at 154 pounds.
Correct.
First?
Exactly.
How do you find 147 pounds? Is this you're 25, so you're very young. This is an easy weight for you to make?
To be honest, I always felt very comfortable to do this 69. My walking weight usually is around like 75, 74 kilos. And of course, make a 147 pound is challenging, is not easy. require a lot of discipline.
So what is that in kilos, 147 pounds?
Is 66.7 kilos.
Okay.
And my walking weight in kilos is 75, like when I'm not too much in diet.
So
and
there's 9 pounds that you have to cut when
9 kilos.
Sorry, yeah, 9 kilos you have to cut when you're trying to make that weight. That's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is, but actually 75 is like my normal weight when I'm not in diet. Then what happened? When I start a camp, usually 8 weeks, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, I start the real diet. The diet that helped me lose the real weight, so lose body fat. And then the last 10 days, I lose the fake weight, that is the residual food into my stomach, the water retention and all this stuff. And you can easily cut just in the last 10 days, let's say, to don't exaggerate, 4 kilos.
Talk to me about your training camp. How intense are your training camps? You say you go on training camp for about 8 weeks? So
Correct.
2 months of training camp. How intense is it?
So it's very intense, especially with a lifestyle around here in Dubai. I am fully dedicated to boxing. As I mentioned before, I'm building my brand. I have my own company, and my company is working 360 degrees inside the boxing world. I'm a personal trainer. I work with only elite clients like VIP, entrepreneurs, and influencers here in Dubai. So I dedicate some of my time to them. Also, I produce boxing gloves and clothes, just like a Rico branding. And plus, of course, the training that is quite intense. I have 2 training sessions every single day, 6 days a week. So
6 days a week?
Correct.
So would you typically start your training early in the morning?
Usually my day start very, very early. Like even today, even if my last fight was the past Saturday, today I wake up at 4:30 a.m. to train my first client. But he's also my main sponsor, Mr. Daniele Pescara. And as a lot of success people, he like to start the day early. So I need to wake up early as well and go and train him.
Wow. So you're full on 6 days a week,
Yes.
complete boxing.
Actually 7 days a week, like
Wow.
since May. So it was kind of a crazy lifestyle, but at the same time, it's giving to me a focus that I never reached before in my life. And of course, I try to live the momentum. I just enjoy the ride. So I like what I'm doing. I'm doing with a smile on my face, and this is what I was dreaming years ago. And
so do you ever get tired? Like, do you ever want a day off? Do you ever want to just sit and watch Netflix and eat some chocolate?
Of course. But what I realized after a lot of time, that actually all the effort is what is bring to me the biggest happiness. And is a happiness that of course have a price. Like the last Friday, I had my last fight. I won in an incredible way, knockout in the second round. I wanna say, I made it look easy. Everybody told me, wow, was a big difference between you and...
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you so much. Between you and your opponent. And actually my opponent, he was 10 victories, 2 losses and 3 draws. So he was not like the first one. And I think that this lifestyle is making the difference actually.
And what does your professional record hold right now? How many professional fights have you had so far?
Right now, I'm 11-0 with 6 knockouts. And looking forward to keep going with a good strike.
Excellent. So you mentioned Nico Ali Walsh earlier. When I spoke to him at the press conference for the IBA, he was fighting at middleweight, but he said his preferable weight could be super welterweight. I know you were potentially saying that this could be a prospect for you.
Correct.
Especially because he trains here in Dubai as well. Where would that fight take place?
I think that is a fight, first of all, that have a lot of sense because of the history. I know Nico since we was both 19 myself and 18 himself. We are pretty much the same weight because again we was training together. I know him. He's my same height.
Same weight, same height, same age. I think he's 25, you're 26.
Yes, he's 1 year younger than me. But I think that, yes, again, make absolutely sense. I know his family. I have a huge respect for his family. So it's not something that I want to do like in a personal way because I have something against him. Actually, he's doing good for the sport of boxing, continues the legacy. But again, he's a hot name, and I would love to have a possibility to share the ring with him.
Is that a fight that we could see take place here in Dubai?
I think that Dubai makes sense, as makes sense also Las Vegas, because I still have a good follow from Las Vegas. But again, I think that Dubai, also because he's a proud Muslim fighter, can have a lot of sense for myself as for himself.
I think we need to see more boxing fights happening in Dubai.
100% agree.
I was with Rocky Fielding, who was a former super middleweight champion from the UK. He fought against Canelo a few years ago. He did the grassroots boxing
Exactly. I saw his fight.
That was a couple of weeks ago. What were your thoughts on that? He said that he's not coming out of retirement. He said that it was an opportunity for him to train and box again, and he really enjoyed it. So what were your thoughts when you watched him fight a couple of weeks ago?
I think that, as you said, he done for himself the most, but he's a veteran of the game. He know boxing better than I do. So I think that if he see the right opportunities open in front of him, why not go and catch it? But as we said during this interview, boxing at the end of the day is not just a passion, but is a business. So of course, I think that he have to evaluate all the possibilities that we're gonna give to him.
And as well as fighting, you also commentate at boxing matches as well?
Yes. This is funny to me. I really like public speaking. It's something that I started when I was younger. The last year I was at high school. I've been the president of all the students in my high school. Okay. So I started talking with a microphone in front of everybody, and I really enjoy this kind of moments. So I start for fun. One night they asked me, Rico, we need a ring announcer. You want to try? And say, let's do it. Let's try. And it was very fun. And actually last Saturday, the day after my fight, I was enjoying a show at Cuban Boxing. And they asked me, oh, Rico, you want to try to do the commentator? I say, why not? And it was fun.
Well, I look forward to seeing more of you in Dubai, Rico, and more of your boxing. It's been great having you on today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks to you. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you. My pleasure.